and show you a little bit of behind the scenes in the newsroom today, and we're talking about a fun topic. If you have lived in the Portland area for, I don't know, over 20 years,
yes,
then you have probably been inside the Memorial Coliseum.
You've been saying that a lot about how, if you've only been here a short while, you probably have not been in there, but they still use that building a ton.
They do.
I mean, if you're a Winterhawks fan,
but I think if you're the average person, they don't hold many concerts. Of course, the Winterhawks play in the Coliseum, and they have different conventions I've seen happen there.
I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers there. I forgot all about this during our show. It was a Monday night. Like, what a terrible night for a concert, right? And I was working this shift at the time, but at another station. So we're going back to probably 2004, 2003. But I saw them there. Good concert. But the whole time you're just sitting there going, I got to wake up in a few hours. That's brutal. But that's when they came in for one show on a Monday night at the Coliseum. We had good seats.
Yeah, and they're a band. They just got to come through town when they can, right?
It was almost like, we're in LA, we're about to go to Seattle, we'll stop there for a quick show in Portland.
I guess we'll go to the Coliseum. So we are talking about the Coliseum because tonight the Blazers kick off their preseason first game, and this is their 50th anniversary season. So they're throwing it back to 1970, where they started playing at the Coliseum. So they're going to be wearing throwback uniforms with the old lowercase kind of italicized Blazers going vertical instead of across the jersey, and they're going to be playing in the Coliseum. So I was trying to go to this game, but on this shift and now with a kid, it's virtually impossible for both my husband and I to go.
I'm excited for this Blazers season. I'd be more inclined to go to the season opener, even though it's at the Moda Center and not as nostalgic, than go to tonight's preseason opener, even though it's at the Coliseum.
I know it's preseason. We've been talking about this. I just wanted to go because it's in the Coliseum. And it's kind of a cool
I feel like they've always played a one preseason game at the Coliseum over the years.
They did on the 40th anniversary, which was 10 years ago.
I must have been there. I swear I was there with my kids who, geez, they're 12, so I knew they were small. I guess they were 2.
They were 2.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So they did this on the 40th anniversary. Time has flown by, my friend.
Oh, my goodness.
And they did Blazers Fan Fest this past Sunday outside on the Rose Quarter Commons, and in the game, the scrimmage, was played in the Coliseum. And I took my 2-year-old daughter, and she is going to be a fan for life, I have a feeling. My mom got her a little Adidas warm-up sweatsuit in the Blazer colors, and she had her little pigtails, and she was holding the basketball and talking about Blaze the Trail Cat, and it's just really cool memories. But anyway, in the basement of our TV station, we've been on the air since
as long as the Coliseum has been up.
56.
Well, now someone's saying 58, but I think
1956.
I thought it was 56 too.
1956, KGW came on the air on TV, and we have, I swear to God, every story since this station has been on the air, whether it's film, tape, crazy huge tapes, and now everything's digitized. You can go down in the basement and find all of this old archive footage. So I went down there and kind of put together this story to kind of show you the different events that have gone on in the Coliseum. Check it out.
In 1956, Portland voters said yes to a bond measure for a new sports and expo arena called the Memorial Coliseum. Construction started next to the Steel Bridge. Portland's inner east side was dirt and fields with a few houses. But by 1960, the Rose City was going places. The Coliseum was open. Just the architecture was a marvel, darling. It was a perfect square, exactly 360 feet wide on each side. Unlike most arenas, engineers wrapped the building in gray tinted glass panels, flooding the inside with natural light. But when they needed to cover the 80,000 square feet of windows, the architects designed a special blackout curtain, which at the time was the largest continuous curtain in the United States. So we've always got that. The Coliseum has been home to decades of grand floral rose festival parades, from rodeos to Tanya Harding on ice to the Dalai Lama. The Coliseum was the center of Portland's biggest events. Go back to August 1965 when the Beatles were the biggest thing going and posed for this picture before their concert at the Coliseum. According to website The Beatles Bible, shortly before arriving in Portland, one of their plane's engines caught fire, causing John Lennon to write down some last messages. They landed safely, phew, and made good on 20,000 of their fans' tickets. Look, Mom, they only cost $5 back then. And presidents have visited.
The times are too serious. The stakes are too high.
2008, Senator Barack Obama held a campaign rally to a packed crowd at the Coliseum.
This crowd would exceed 12,000. Tickets would disappear in under 12 hours. The ripple had become a wave.
Thank you.
While the Coliseum is and always has been home to the Portland Winterhawks hockey team, it's the original home of the Blazers, those short shorts on long, long legs. The rallying cry of Rip City was born inside this bowl within a square. For 25 years and 1,093 games, the Blazers' magic was so close. The very tip-top seats in the Coliseum are basically 200 level in today's Moda Center.
I have memories of coming to watch the Blazers play in the 70s with my father.
It's where our one and still only NBA championship came true with Bill Walton.
There's nothing more beautiful in the world. It belongs to all of you forever. Here it is, Jack and Bill.
I love going back and looking at that old archive video. It is so much fun to see. I mean, any kind of story that we used to do kind of back in the day, but
I know we always we sort of make fun of the fact that the Blazers haven't won a title in so long now, since 1970. No, we bring it up. Hey, it's been so long. What a drought! But thank goodness they did win that one.
Right.
I mean, when we talk about the memories of the Coliseum, that's where most people go there first. Winning that 1977 NBA championship, and I know at the time we all would have thought they're going to win many more.
Right.
They haven't. So you know how precious those can be. But
yeah, someone was talking about this.
Yeah, Nicola says she saw Game 3 of those 77 NBA Finals at the Coliseum. She says my parents and I would use standing room only seats when they bought their tickets. So they bought tickets and stood up for the whole time. She said she also went to her very first concert at the Coliseum. It was the Bee Gees in 1978.
Woo, the Bee Gees. That was fun. The circus would always come to town. Barnum and Bailey's Circus, back when that was
allowable.
More PC, yeah, allowable. And I remember going to see the circus several times when I was a child. The Ice Capades, Disney on Ice, that was huge.
And Disney on Ice still plays out there.
I think they are coming actually in December. Disney on Ice is coming to the Memorial Coliseum. It was just so cool in FanFest on Sunday. I hadn't been in that building in so long. Those seats, I mean, I think it's the same as like airline seats. I mean, it was built in 1960, and those seats are freaking tiny.
Yes.
And there is no leg room. My husband is like 6'2", and he was just jammed in the front of the seat ahead of him. And it is just teeny, and it's so like the angle of the seats is not sloped very much.
The Memorial Coliseum is more, I think
it's flatter.
Yes. I feel like the Moda Center is more up and down.
Correct, yeah.
When you're up in the high, you're up high. They kind of spread that out there, so the last seats are maybe further back, but they're not so high up.
But they're like 200 level, like that story said, in the Moda Center. So I mean, you can see the court. And just, I always love going to games in person because you get to like really see how tall people are,
right.
Those players, and just like how many strides it takes to get them down the court.
They're actually too big for that court, right?
It looks like it.
Those guys out there. I remember the first time I saw like an NBA game, and I'm breaking off the topic here because it wasn't at the Coliseum. It was at the Philadelphia Spectrum, which was a similar arena in Philadelphia back in the same times. And I remember seeing like Charles Barkley and thinking, I knew he was big, but oh my gosh, he's so wide, massive, and he gets down the court in a few steps.
Yeah. It is just so fun to see.
Raise the hoop to 12 feet and extend the court another 15 feet.
Now that'd be something. 3-pointers would not be as easily gotten. That's right.
So a lot of people are chiming in. Francis says Elton John she saw there in the mid-70s. She was only 13 years old. It was a dream come true for Francis at the time. Good morning, Francis, by the way. And then Chad is saying probably about 7 years ago the Blazers did a game there, same kind of deal as tonight, and you were saying it was actually 10 years ago on the 40th anniversary.
I think it was 10 years ago.
I remember that. Like Chad, I thought that was a few years ago. It's been 10 years already, Chad, since they did this. Chris remembers going to the high school state basketball tournaments in the 1970s, especially the year that Baker was in the final with Benson. So Chris, I don't know if I'm guessing Chris may be a Baker resident?
Baker City?
Baker City. You know, it's funny because they did, when I first got here in 2000, 2001, 02, 03 even, they were still doing those high school state tournaments at the Coliseum. Then they moved it to the Child Center, and sometimes I think it's even in Salem. But anyways, there were a lot of great memories in that building.
Yeah, no kidding. So, oh, someone saw Queen. Debbie Ann Sherman, Queen. She saw her freshman year, and Ozzy Osbourne later that year. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine seeing Ozzy Osbourne.
Guns N' Roses in '93. Sharon saw GNR back then. I can't believe that's 25 years ago. Wow. 1993 is. Did you mention the Bon Jovi and Skid Row concert in 1989 seen by Warren Talbert?
Oh,
so Bon Jovi and Skid Row. Was that a combo concert, Warren? Sounds like a blast. Who opened for who in 1989?
Yeah, the Beatles. And just to see those old pictures of like what that Rose Quarter area looked like back in the day. I mean, it was just dirt, you know, with a few little houses here and there. And I mean, that has opened up so much of the city. And now, you know, we're looking at getting Major League Baseball, and that was kind of a proposed site. The Portland's public school district area was one of their early sites.
You know, you mentioned something in your story.
It's just crazy how far we've come.
We had, you know, the glass to the outside. I mean, it is kind of wild. The first time I ever saw it where it was sort of a daytime event and the windows were fully open and exposed without the curtain was during the Rose Festival Grand Floral Parade. I'm like, wow, this place is super bright when it's completely uncovered. But they had to put that curtain in there. I mean, you couldn't have an NBA game with all that natural light shining in on the court like that.
I think for evening games, like when it gets further into the season, I think it's, and somebody was saying, they had written on a website that I was looking up, that if they did keep, and they should have kept the curtain open more because you can see the lights of the city, like the downtown buildings, which is just kind of cool, very unique and cool. And so somebody was saying online that they should have left those open more. But the world's the United States' longest continuous curtain was in the Memorial Coliseum. Let's walk around the newsroom. We have some long-time Portlanders here that I want to get.
How you're going to phrase that politically correctly.
Long-time Portlanders. See, let's venture over here to
that guy looks like a long-time Portlander.
Our digital team.
Brucey.
Look at these guys over here. We're walking around and visiting you. Hi. I wanted to come bother.
You're going to bother Michael?
Michael Rollins.
Hit up Michael first. You're spared, Bruce, for now.
So, Michael, you and I share a memory of the Memorial Coliseum, and I want you to kind of tell this story because you were on roller skates and I was a roller blader.
Oh, no, I was on rollerblades.
Oh, you were on rollerblades?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the situation in the Coliseum, because I haven't told the story yet.
I didn't believe it when they started announcing it, but I forget what night of the week, but you could just go down there. I think you paid a nominal fee, a couple of bucks, and you went around a concourse, which was just absolutely smooth. It was just
that smooth pour concrete,
Yeah, and you just would fly around.
Yeah, they had music playing, and you could, it was right when like rollerblading was the thing to be doing, and you just went around and around and around. They have soda and hot dogs and music playing, and I would go down with my best friend, and we would just rollerblade until we dropped. Why? They should do that again there.
Totally.
I mean, I don't know how many people have their own roller skates and rollerblades now, but
I bet quite a few. I mean, no, they don't. Everyone got.
Do you still have yours?
Oh no.
Oh.
Too many
falls
on the hips.
Bruce is saying we should take the scooters inside the Coliseum.
Why not?
The e-scooters.
E-scooter time trial. So Bruce Williams has worked at.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Bruce has worked at every newsroom in the city, if I'm not mistaken. The man has seen quite a few things at the Coliseum. Do you have a favorite personal memory from Memorial Coliseum? Outside of news.
Huey Lewis in the news.
There you go.
Come on. Yeah.
What year do you think that was?
Oh, geez, Louise. 87?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Huey Lewis in the news. The other thing is, when my niece she was on dance team in high school, and they used to have the dance team. They still have the dance team championships there, and so I remember spending like a whole day there watching dance team after dance team after dance team.
When they built the Moda Center, that was a big deal. The Blazers are kind of coming into the new age. They're going to have a brand new arena. I imagine there were people at the time that were still sad. They didn't even want to see the new. They wanted to keep the oldness. Or were people happy?
Well, they did, and you also got to remember it is a memorial. I mean, it is a war memorial, and so there's an aspect of the public that wants that to be remembered, and that it is a memorial.
And there are names etched into a memorial that's, what, somewhere in the center of it, right?
It's, I guess, what would be called underneath.
Yeah, it's kind of underneath.
Yeah.
You can get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
But it is on the National Register of Historic Places, which makes it very, very hard to, you know, demolish or
to turn into a baseball.
drastically change.
Or a parking lot, for that
baseball
matter.
Stadium. Yeah, exactly.
Or a target.
All right, well, this has been a nice little look back in time. And your piece is online right now, I would imagine. We can push people to our website to see that piece you did.
Yes, Jeff,
awesome.
where is it?
This is our digital team right now, guys.
Michael, where is it?
It's on YouTube, for sure.
YouTube.
Is it in the newsletter?
It's in our morning newsletter from KGW.
3 things to know.
How do people subscribe to that?
Just go to kgw.com/email.
Thank you, Jeff.
And you can subscribe to all of our newsletters.
/email.
3 things to know every morning, and our investigates newsletters. kgw.com/email.
Awesome.
That's where
Okay.
that is.
And
And check
also
that out on my
page.
Facebook page.
Can I share one more comment?
Yes,
I'm
Drew,
sorry.
go ahead.
Facebook page.
What was that, Michael? I cut you off. Say it again.
Nina's Facebook page has it. The
Okay.
KGW Facebook page. It's a wonderful look back. You'll see what the Beatles and the little snippets.
Yep. Yeah, if you missed it, we just played it here at the beginning of the show. But yeah, check it out online. It's really fun. Drew, what'd you have?
So Nancy Horton, I just want to get this comment in
Hi,
from Nancy
Nancy.
Horton watching right now. She's right there, gang. You see Nancy Horton? She's watching us right now, right there. Nancy says, you'll appreciate this, Bruce. Her favorite memory from the Coliseum has to be the Easter sunrise service. The choir that she was in performed there with Pat Boone in 1973.
I was
my.
there.
You were there.
I was absolutely there, yeah.
In 1973.
73.
How about that? Look at that, Nancy. Michael here was there with you. Were you in the choir too?
No, in the crowd.
In the crowd watching.
In the nosebleeds.
Do you remember this moment? Because she says the moment was at the end when they opened up the windows and let the sunlight in, and she says it was wonderful. It was glorious.
Good memory. I don't remember that.
Maybe you were heading for the garage by then, looking to get into the car?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. 1973, Nancy was there, and so was Michael Rollins.
Isn't that funny? Now you know each other.
And hey, we had another person at that Bon Jovi and Skid Row concert in 1989.
Must have been awesome.
He has 2 of these up there. Dawn Marie Carnegie Hurt. H-E-R-T. Don't hurt me. Dawn Marie Carnegie Hurt was at that same concert with, I'm going to go back through the stream. Who else was there? Warren Talbert. Warren. Dawn. You guys were connected by that concert.
Isn't that
some
weird?
30
Little
years
strangers.
ago. Yes.
Meeting on this little streaming program of ours.
You were connected then by Skid Row. You're connected now by Sunrise Extra. It's beautiful.
Breaks my heart a little bit. All right, you guys. Thanks for having fun with us on a Tuesday. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching Sunrise Extra.